Hello, I'm Michael, and over the next 10 weeks, I'm going to get you up and running with World of Warcraft. Now, look, with a game as large as this one, I get how it might seem a little bit daunting at the outset, but don't worry, no matter where you're starting or restarting with the game, this series is going to have you covered. Now, today's episode takes it from the top. We're going to cover getting World of Warcraft installed, getting an account, what Battle.net is, and also a whole bunch of tips that I think you should know before you jump into the game. Then, over the weeks leading up to BFA's launch, we are going to go further and further into the content of the game, covering everything that you need to know, even if you're jumping into it fresh, or if you're restarting and you've taken a bit of a break, or you're trying to get some of your friends to join in with the fun. So before I jump into accounts and stuff, I want to start off just really simply, what is World of Warcraft? Because that can be a hard question from the outside, and then even for those of us who play the game, well, there's so many ways to play the game that it's a pretty broad question. So we're going to break it down simply like this: the literal World of Warcraft, and then what you actually do in it. So, the World of Warcraft is a really big one. Warcraft began as a series of RTS games in the 1990s, and when World of Warcraft released in 2004, its name was quite literal. It contained the world of the Warcraft games. Since then, World of Warcraft has carved its own path forward, with each expansion adding new continents to explore and new storylines to unravel. Now, a World of Warcraft expansion typically adds a big new landmass to the game, and they tend to release around every 2 years, with Battle for Azeroth, the most recent expansion, set to come out on the 14th of August. Now, World of Warcraft primarily takes place on Azeroth, a rather special planet in an otherwise rather dark and scary universe. As a new player, you're going to start off as a member of either the Alliance or the Horde, and you'll be dealing with local problems, but you'll soon grow in power, you'll explore the rest of the planet, you'll eventually go off to distant continents and even far-flung worlds. Now, as a game, World of Warcraft is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game, also known as an MMORPG. So it's like an RPG in that you've got a character, that character levels up, it earns gear, and it's in a massive shared world. That's the MMO bit, so there's other players there, you can team up with them, or if you're feeling up to it, you can even fight them. World of Warcraft is broadly thought of by the players as having two sort of elements to the game. There's leveling and endgame. Now, endgame is the progression that you do once your character has hit max level. It's all about getting the most powerful gear, defeating the strongest enemies in the game, and that sort of thing. Then leveling is your journey to endgame. That's when you explore the world, you learn about its places, its people, and you deal with loads of bad guys. Now, this is a fantastic time to be leveling a new character in World of Warcraft because Blizzard recently revamped the leveling system, so it now has a scaling system where zones keep pace with your character's level, which essentially means you don't outlevel zones, and the main sort of good point is you've got a lot more freedom in where you go, and the quality of the gameplay is a lot better. Now, we're going to delve into all aspects of World of Warcraft in this series, but first, well, we're going to actually need to get up and running. So let's start with how to actually own World of Warcraft. Now, the first thing you need to do is get a Battle.net account. So Battle.net is Blizzard's online platform, and it handles all of their games, including World of Warcraft, Diablo, StarCraft, and Overwatch. So just head to Battle.net, follow the instructions there to make an account, and you'll have a Battle.net account. So this is your master account for all Blizzard products and services. Then the next thing that we need to do is get you a copy of World of Warcraft. And the good news is that this is so much easier than it has been in the past, and it's great. Now, this is actually a very recent change, so it's probably news to you. Now, everyone who has a Battle.net account also has a WoW Starter Edition account, and this will let them play the game up to level 20, and that's great for testing out the various classes and the starting locations. Now, if you want to play the game past level 20, then you just need to subscribe to World of Warcraft. This will give you access to all content with the exception of the most recent expansion, in this case, Battle for Azeroth, and that will let you play up to a cap of level 110. And it covers the content of the Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, Mists of Pandaria, Warlords of Draenor, and Legion. Now, if you want access to Battle for Azeroth, you're going to need to purchase the expansion pack, and this is currently done in two ways, depending on if you're upgrading a new World of Warcraft account or if you are using an existing one. So, for new players or those who are creating a new World of Warcraft account, they're able to purchase the complete collection. Now, this is a digital-only product that contains 30 days of included game time, a level 110 boost, and the Battle for Azeroth expansion pack. Then existing World of Warcraft accounts that are not upgraded to Battle for Azeroth, they can purchase the expansion separately as per normal, and they will get an included level 110 boost, but they will need to purchase World of Warcraft subscription in order to play the game. So let's talk about World of Warcraft subscriptions. Now, World of Warcraft's monthly subscription is available in two different ways, either directly with real-world money or by using WoW Token, which allows you to convert in-game currency to game time. Put simply, WoW Token allows players to go to the in-game auction house and purchase a WoW token for gold. You can then redeem this token for 30 days of game time. Now, the other side of the token system is that players who want more in-game gold, well, they can purchase a token for real money and they can then sell it to another player for gold in the auction house. This allows the player with gold to get game time, and it allows the player with real money to get in-game gold. So now that we understand how to own World of Warcraft and how the subscriptions work, let's talk about the downloading process. And once again, the good news is this is really easy. The days of manually having to load in 6 CD-ROMs per expansion, they are very much over. Now, the first thing you need to do is install the Battle.net app. This acts as a hub for all of your Blizzard games. It manages their downloads, it keeps them up to date, and it provides you with access to Blizzard's social network. So you could even say, talk to your World of Warcraft guild through that. So you want to go to My Account, and then you want to click on Downloads. Then click on Battle.net, and then click on your operating system. Then just follow the on-screen instructions and it will be installed in no time. So the next thing to do is to install World of Warcraft. So you want to open the Battle.net app and you want to go to the World of Warcraft tab. You'll then see a big blue button that says install, so click on that button. The following menus will ask you where in your computer you want to install the game to. Now, World of Warcraft is quite large, so you might want to change its initial install location. As an example, I've got a second hard drive in my computer that I install games to. So World of Warcraft will begin downloading at this stage, and initially you'll see a red bar. That means that core parts of the game are being downloaded and it can't be played. Soon though, you'll see a yellow bar. This means that the game is not fully downloaded, but it can be played. Basically, Blizzard do some wizardry space magic and they stream parts of the game to your computer as you're playing them. And then finally you will see the bar turn green. This means that it isn't downloaded yet, but pretty much almost all of the core stuff is there and you can play it. But personally, I would just recommend waiting for the whole thing to install. That'll give you the smoothest gameplay experience. But okay, with that covered, let's talk about some tips, because I want to leave you with a few things before I take off for the week. And we're going to cover our first steps in the game next week, so right now I'm going to give you just some tips that'll help you kind of get started on the right foot. So if you're interested about the broad game, then Wired just posted a video that goes over the history of World of Warcraft with the game's director. That's actually going to be great for giving you the historical context of the game as it is today. And then I also think it's worth understanding how the new leveling system works, and luckily, I've already done a video on that, which you can check out in the description, and that will explain everything you need to know about the game's new revamped leveling system. And then as an install tip, I would actually recommend putting World of Warcraft on a solid state disk, an SSD, if you have the space. That just really helps to cut down load times, and I found that to be just pretty good for having a smooth experience. Then you can also check out my channel if you want to. There's a whole bunch of videos there on World of Warcraft. For the new players, some of the things might be a little bit advanced initially, but after this series, you'll be up to speed and you'll be able to get the most out of all of that stuff. So there we have it for week 1. Next week, we are going to be talking about the first time you launch WoW, so character creation, realm selection, and the best ways to get comfortable playing the game right from the get-go. Past that, we're going to be covering all aspects of World of Warcraft. You'll get leveling tips, social features, endgame PvP, endgame PvE, far more, everything you need to really understand the game. So be sure to look out for that in the weeks coming ahead, and thank you very much for watching this video.